I know ain't nobody in here yet, but I'm doing great. I ain't gonna lie, baby. It's cold in the temple of the crossroads. It's cold in the temple of the crossroads. It really is. I just got in here. It is chilly. Shoot, the nation is below zero at nighttime. So, you know, they ain't gonna spare us no mercy now, cause see, they got to keep them temperatures down. I know why they got to keep them temperatures down. Y'all know I don't even have to keep telling everybody. I hope that everybody's doing great. I said I was going to come on to the temple so I could check on the plants and speak to the Temple of the Crossroads. Hello, Temple of the Crossroads. And this video is sponsored by the entities of the Temple of the Crossroads. It's real. Whether anybody want to believe it or not. Okay, so, you know, they told me I got to come in here. I have to walk in this door, giving them $40 each visit. They are real. They mean business. Okay. They said, we can come to your defense. You can do what we tell you. They want me. I am a sponsor of the Temple of the... I'm not a sponsor, but a representative of the Temple of the Crossroads. My duty is to get everyone prepared as much as possible to have emergency food, emergency water, and emergency supplies, okay? Even though a lot of people might say, oh, I can do that. Well, you were inspired by me, okay? You were inspired by the Temple of the Crossroads because most people don't know how to can that watch. I'm not saying everybody don't, but a lot of people had no clue what they needed to be doing to get themselves prepared. And I've gotten people to tell me, hey, look, you know, thank you so much. I'm getting ready so I can do what I can to protect my family, you know, because it's coming. You know, we don't want to wait till they say, hey, look, check this out. Y'all hurry up and get some food together and get your water together. You don't want to wait on them. You know, you want to be ahead of the game and get started before everybody else gets started, because if you don't, you stand to be one of the ones that will be in long lines, you know, trying to get what's left over, what's picked over. Who wants to be like that? Imagine, you know, you realize it's here, and you're going from one store to the next store just looking for a carton of eggs. This is your wake-up call. This is your warning, to start prepping. Okay? And eggs can be preserved if you have to pickle them. If you want fresh scrambled eggs, if you want your egg to be liquefied, that's a whole nother story. This is when you're getting into, you know, raising hens and chickens and stuff. But if you can't raise hens and chickens, the next alternative besides pickling is dehydrating. And we're going to get into that next week. Hopefully, I hope it has warmed up next week. I'm saying that, but I'm not sure. I just do whatever the Spirit says to. But if you all want to get ahead of me, you can go ahead and start watching videos that will show you how to dehydrate eggs, powder them down in your Ninja, and to powder, and then transferring them to jars, okay? Because the eggs are going up, so you can have jars. I hope this is the right jar I was jarring, but because I'm not sure, but I'll redry both. But you can, you know, once if that day come where you know the emergency is here. I don't know what's causing the emergency. You don't have access to foods. Maybe, you know, there's snow on the ground. You know, some of y'all may have met y'all fate. with that snow, I saw some states buried under snow. Some of them could have been some of the people who said, "Oh my God, I should have listened to Mother Wisdom. She told us to do this and do that." I do be getting emails and texts from people that said, "Thank God I did what you told me." And now I have food, lights, whatever. Okay, so these are cleaned out thoroughly and they're dry. We're just going to be putting dry foods in here. Um, so we can have things on the shelf. Now, some people might say, I'm just going to get a box of macaroni and put it up. Well, these are some of the issues you may have for long-term storage. You may have rats that decided to come and open these up and eat them. You may have weevils. You may have things, moisture, or whatever. This is the way to preserve them for a long time. I can hear that heater. It's trying to come on, but the guy told me the heater is shot down here in the bottom part. So when we purchased this, the heater was already bad downstairs, and the upper heater needs Freon. So we got those things that we need to be addressing because, or I'm just going to wait on Temple of the Crossroad, see what they're going to do, because they did put a brand new top on here. I've already talked to them about the heating system. So we'll see what they're going to do. They told me not to make any decisions before this year is out. They want to do it. And so hang on a minute, y'all. Let me see what I can do like this. Yeah, I can actually hear it trying to fire out, but the guy said, "Ma'am, this is gone." So I said, "Okay." I mean, I was just shocked. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It is gone?" Yeah, and ma'am, it is gone, 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 gone. Okay, so I got to get ready to do this phone. So I'm just astounded at how. What the ancestors would do, the mystery spirits, the gods, the Temple of the Crossroads. Because I had an event in here, and usually it's freezing cold during that time. And I just asked them, I said, "Could y'all please make that a warm day?" And they did. I am still shocked. Okay, so I'm going to ask them to warm it up in here for the weekend. So when I'm in here doing my thing, you know, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, like I said, this is elbow macaroni. Something always weird happens, don't y'all? And you thought it can't wait. Like, we can't wait till you put that in there. Oh, shit. Okay. So we're gonna put this up because, like I said, it's a good feeling knowing you got this sitting in the cabinet in a jar when if you need it. Be your own hope that you seek. Do not put your hope in man. Do not put your hope in me. Don't wait till shit hit the fan and then you be waiting on me. Don't wait on me now, because I might let you down. You know, start prepping for your children if you care anything about them. That's your job. You won't be able to get to me no way, because they're going to be blocking shit off. When that day comes, everything going to be blocked and barricaded. In whatever city you in, you're going to be stuck there. Oh, gosh. I thought I had another box of macaroni and I don't. What I'm looking at is something different. If I had known, I wouldn't have opened this, man. I would not have opened it. So I'm just gonna have and have this to kind of even it out, I guess. Cause these things are expensive. You don't want to. I'll try to get another a jar of those because I don't want to mess up nothing. No, no, no. Every little bit counts. Somebody was telling me, oh, these don't necessarily they are not, these oxygen tabs are not the best thing to use. I've seen where people didn't put nothing in the jars. Nothing. They just put them in the jars and went on about their business. Lots of people say vacuum the air out and then put the tab in it. It's just everybody got something to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna at least put the tabs in here. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like messing with that machine over there right now. Now it's not the time. Not for me, at least. It's not the time. Okay. We put that there. Oh, I should make sure it's dry. Won't no moisture in there. Y'all see what we're doing? We're storing our food. This whole jar here can feed at least 5 people. I showed y'all how to can tomatoes, didn't I? Okay. Well, you'll boil these macaronis or add water and just let it sit, depending on, you know, what your circumstances is, because we hadn't quite yet gotten the big size fire iron pot to go outside the cinder blocks to go outside and do the cooking. You know what I'm saying? We haven't done that portion yet. But I imagine in circumstances where there is no electricity or gas, that we would take this outside. The fire iron pot has hot boiling water in there, so much to whatever it needs to be, part that, and go ahead and start, you know, putting that in there. It's got some salt on board. I told y'all store salt. And after these are good and tender, you know, drain the fluid off. I don't know, you may want to make it a soup, because the soup will stretch and and feed more than just 5 people. Once it's a soup, you can feed maybe 10 people, because a lot of what they're going to be getting is the actual broth from the macaroni. And I showed you, like, once again, how you could put the tomatoes in the boiling noodles if you're going to do soup, or drain the noodles and just put the tomatoes on top. Now we got to get into drying chicken and beef. Dry chicken and beef could be after water has been added to it. Added to this, you got a whole meal. Okay, how about that? Is that going to be good enough? There we go. And here we have a whole meal. Okay. And that's going to be, I'm still looking at the tomatoes. I should have put them up by now. Here's the tomatoes that we discussed. If you want your tomatoes to be a bit more clearer, I learned that I need to do something different. You know, the brine does not necessarily have to have all of you have a few herbs in it, but even though you got brine to pour over it, it's always good to, once you get your fruits, your veggies, or whatever in here, go ahead and add your herbs to your jar, so it will have the extra flavor of herbs to it. Here's your tomatoes, preserved. Okay, and it has been processed, so this should have a shelf life of, they say, of 25 years. Okay, so this is what you would put over your drained noodles. Okay. I still got to get somebody to get the ladder so we can put those up very, very, very high. And so I'm hoping, like I said, if it warms up, we're going to go to the next phase of dehydration, I'm hoping. I'm hoping dehydration is next week. Remember we did these? They're still looking good in those packages. Packaged rice with seasonings and stuff in it. Here's the final product. It's still holding out good. We have our oxygen tabs in these. Whole meal. Oh, with you some dry jerky. I'm still looking at just things to keep showing you all that we've already done. So we dried macaroni and macaroni. I'm getting low on jars because I just don't think I want to go through this right now. Let me see what we got here. We got these rich ziti's that need to be jarred. So these are all $1. I think this is a good idea to get these if you just don't have a whole lot of money. You know, you can get any kind of jars that you finished off. It could have other foods in it. Wash them thoroughly. You don't have to sanitize them. Just wash them real good. Dry them real good, because it's not like we're going to be putting any liquids in there. We're just going to be putting dried stuff in here. Once again, food saver or oxygen tabs, oxygen absorber tabs that go in here, and you store these $1. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Oh, Mama, I didn't know. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. Can I have some of yours? Nope. Cause ain't nobody gonna be able to get to nobody, no ways. Okay, so I don't feel like pulling all the flour down, because we'll be probably doing flour probably next week or something like that. I got to keep this going. So maybe flour next week, oil, olive oil, oh gosh, it's just, cornstarch, anything dried that you eat that you can put in a jar. Herbs, for people who are into the medicinal herbs and stuff, your dandelion, dried dandelion, your dry basil. I dried basil and I put it away. Oh, so aromatic. And it'll keep you busy full time. Woo! Y'all see, I was talking to y'all about my locks. I untied the locks, and they are for some reason more heavier and thicker than they were. So I have them here, and they're tied up like, about a good 6 inches. They're tight, so they're gonna come down to like right up in here, right about the butt, the hip, below the hip, or what have you. And I don't know why they got so much weight on them. I could feel them pulling and tugging on my scalp, because when I had them tied up, I barely could feel them. It's like they weren't there when I had them tied up. So this time when I washed them and I dried them real good, I decided, I said, I'm not tying them back up because it made them real weak. Hello to everyone. Okay, so I'm going to look and see who's in here, and then I'm going to leave you all, and go ahead and water my plants. Make sure that they are okay. All of my delicate plants are upstairs where, you have, it's much colder down here, much warmer upstairs. My nose is getting the best of me. You know how it is when you're in something real, really in a cold place. It's cold, but not as cold as I thought it would be. Okay? So, ain't nothing in here but towels. Gonna rinse this off. There, we got one noodle. We got one noodle oodle in the water. I'll put that there. And let me see who I need to meet and greet with. Hello, Tiffany Buchanan. She's the first into the chat. Temple of the Crossroads, welcome you. Hey, she, traveler. Hello, Empress of the Trinity. Where you been? Hey, Sean. And hey, Golden Amethyst. Thank you for being there, Golden Amethyst, on our last show that we just did earlier today. Hey, Simply Keela, you were on the show earlier today. Um, Hello, Island. Gal, how are you? Hey, the blueprint. Hey, D1. Okay, so, peace to all of you all too. Stay warm. Okay, they say that the nation is below below freezing, with the exception with like Southern California and Florida. I will say this right here, that all of the weather is being manufactured, and they have to keep that stuff cool so we can catch it. And so that is what is going on, if you ever got curious about it. But I'm getting ready to talk, because y'all, I went to see the Black Panthers Wakanda Forever. And I feel like a superhero. Yes, I do. And I feel like nothing is impossible, that all things are possible, and I understand things a little, not understand, but I feel like, Wakanda is a real place. I think one of these lights have gone out. My son got to go up here, and this is like 16 feet tall, going up there to that ceiling and replacing one of the lights. I'm rambling, y'all, so it's whatever's on my mind, I'm talking about it. But Wakanda. Spoiler alerts. I talked about it on the other channel, the Mother Wisdom Tree channel. So if you one of those people don't mind knowing what is going to happen ahead of time, go and watch the Mother Wisdom Tree channel and see the latest video I uploaded today. You got to click on live, not video. Go to the section that says live. A lot of people are not watching lots of videos on a lot of people's channels because they don't know that YouTube has changed its lineup. If you want to watch a live, you got to go to the section that says live, video, section that says video, shorts, the section that says shorts. But go there and you can see that latest video. I went last night. I had a glorious time. I missed a lot of it because I was waiting on my popcorn and my soda pop. I was pissed because I thought I was going to see Dreamgirls. It was sold out. I got there too late because my daughter came 2 hours away and it was too late. But my other daughter said, let's go and see Wakanda. And I was like, okay, because she had already seen it. And she already let us know she was going to be boohoo crying. And boy, did she live up to what she said, and I tried to make myself cry. So I finally made myself cry when this lady was burning the ancestor cloth. It is some type of tradition that they do in Wakanda where they burn the ancestral cloth, and they were going to the ancestor. She was going to the ancestral realm, and I'm like, why did y'all tell me that? Because now my mission is to go to the ancestral realm as much as possible. I do know now, after watching that glorious movie and watching that beautiful queen and that powerful princess and the Black Panther, that every world that we reach, every kingdom or civilization that we reach, as artists, as creators, okay, depends on where our particular frequency is, at this present moment, wherever we are, and I'm like, whoever tapped into Wakanda had to be on such a high frequency, I hate to say high frequency, but on a higher vibration than most, because I see frequencies like channels. You just keep turning. But I see vibrations that are like constantly going this way or going outward or just going down, you know what I'm saying? So if your vibrations are really, really low beneath, and I'm not saying beneath is any worse than being anywhere else. I'm not saying it's the worst, but if you're down here, when you go, your consciousness will be there. So your soul trips are going to be going under there. And if you're materialistic and money is the world, you got to be counting cash. That's a very low frequency. When you're preparing, when you are comparing, I'm sorry, when you're comparing your actual existence to anything else, and you see what I'm saying? And it's all about what you have available as far as this. That's a low frequency, because those papers really are not going to mean anything where we're actually going. Once again, I told you it's all about spiritual or soul stock, soul bonds, soul coins. You know what I'm saying? Those type of soul currency is where you should be. So, because it's temporary. The paper thing is temporary. Like even this place, you know what I'm saying? Everything like here is temporary. When you can get your vibrations on a better plane, depending on where you want to be, and a lot of people don't know where they want to be because they don't know of anything else but to compare their success by materialistic gain and monies and women and oh, I got all the beautiful women, I got all the fine men and it's just where they are. There's their limitations on their actual level of evolution. That's where it is. But once you actually had the opportunity, I guess I can say this as an artist, to experience the fruits of the gods. And I hadn't tasted it yet, but I know that it's something out there that is so much more powerful than money could ever buy. Okay, so if you are, say for instance, you're an artist or you're a book writer and you're writing about these worlds and characters are coming to you and you never knew their names, and they're not like names you've ever heard here in the English vocabulary. Just like I was intrigued with the what you call that? Vibrion. I don't forget the name of it. It was some type of ore. Vibrion. I can never think of that. That ore that they had in Wakanda. We talked about it on the last video. And you start coming up with different crystals that the world never seen, colors that the world have never seen, harmonies that the world has never heard. You know what I'm saying? Feelings of vibrations and frequencies that the world can never comprehend. Then you're on your way somewhere. And once you start matching whatever these vibrations are that you want to experience, and it's a lot of work, lifting yourself in those frequencies, and I feel like the muse has a lot to do with going in those places, the experience of the muse. Like I'm always, as an artist, looking for the muse. It has a lot to do with connecting with, spirits that can get you there, and ancestors and gods and, oh gosh, mystics and magi's, metaphysical beings to get you in these places. And as you go there, if you are a person that time jumps or you're a soul traveler, then you can go to places that, like I say, once again, the human imagination cannot fathom. Or you'd be surprised how you could write books and you know, people like, the fuck? What is this? You can engage your readers and movies, and you create movies and stuff that that your audience is like, wow, you know, and that's what we want to do as artists, as book writers, you know, authors and creators. We want to engage our artist, our audience. We want them to pick up our books, to watch our movies, and not be able to stop watching or put that book down. So I'm saying all of this because I'm hoping that my next travel is one of great importance. I just don't want to just go around a place that looks like this. I want to go to a place that, you know, man has never seen, you know, and I'm not going to use the word beautiful, but something that vibrates high. That's where I want to go, and be able to return and become more creative and more powerful. And you're going to need this because, you know, they're creating conditions here on the planet where it's going to be hard to grow food. They're poisoning all of the water reservoirs. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're poisoning the sky. So we got to be in a position in the desolate place that they're creating to be able to call down manna. That's what we should be. And I know a lot of people didn't understand what I was talking about. They said, what the hell did lady talking about? Hey, Christopher Everett, how you doing? Okay, 13 moons, what's up? Yes. Okay, now. It was nice talking to y'all. Hey, Sigmet Raw, how you doing? What your name is? Toxic the Foe? You got to explain to us, you know, how you came up with that name. And you got to tell me the high vibration in that name. And you got to be careful what kind of name you choose, because you can be lowering your vibration with that. You know, so if you, and some people don't get it. If you say, hey, look, certain things you choose may lower your vibration, and if you're at a point where you really don't care, it is because you're not really on spiritual ascension. And if you're not on spiritual ascension, then I mean, like, you really just wasting a lot of your time, you know. So I don't know. It just depends on where you are. It'll definitely let people know where your evolution is, you know. I'm hoping that the people who are here are evolving and not stagnant, because of, like, you know, like I said, I cannot stress enough that we're going into an era that we've never experienced, you know, from one place to the next, which is shifting us. You know, and you can call it whatever you want, the era of this, the era of that, the era whatever, but, you know, you got to be ready, because it could just be you and looking at the people you love starve to death, die, get sick, famine, or what have you. Don't come in here playing. That ain't what you want to do. And on this note, y'all, if y'all ain't got no questions, I got to go. Any questions before I leave here? Thank you, Sick Mick said, agree, okay. Todd, sometimes I notice that men can kind of play around a little bit. Adult men will play around. And I think the reason why, not all of them, I ain't talking about my divine masculines, but some men tend to play around because they think that, you know, some woman is always going to be available to bail them. They may be living with a mom or an aunt, or from woman to woman, and they're providing for them. But we're going into an era where it's going to be like every man and woman for themselves. Women who have children are not going to be pretty much in the position to take care of a man that is not necessarily pulling any weight or producing anything. Women are going to need protection. So if you're a coward and you don't know how to produce any, you don't have any skills to produce anything that's tangible in these dark days, because they said this is supposed to be one of the darkest, coldest winters. We don't know how true that's going to be, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody got time to be pulling no damn dead weight. If you dead weight, we're going to have to discard it. It's going to be where we're going to have to lighten loads. The load has going to have to be lightened. Now, I'm going a little bit deeper than this. It's not just going to be me talking about how to prepare to put up food and things like that. But like I showed y'all last video, we put up, I was showing you all radios that can be used, wind up radios with, with flashlights on them, and we looked at a lot of little stuff like that. Walkie-talkies. I got another walkie-talkie. It does work, but we just had to have a match to that walkie-talkie. But self-defense. Self-defense, especially for you women who may not necessarily have men. We're going to be pulling the guns out. Those are going to be a part of this video. I'm going to be showing you all guns, bow and arrows, the fuck, the best knife. Somebody sent me a knife. Thank you. There was a man that sent me a knife, and that motherfucker heavy. And I'm scared to touch it. It has a very sharp blade at the tip, but it's about this big, fat handle like that. It looks like something you gut something out with. That damn thing dangerous, and it comes with a little pocket like that. Auntie said, when you start getting these weapons, beware, because if you get them, you're gonna have to. You gonna 9 times out of 10 use them. And I'm gonna be real careful, because Mama be going place waking up like trying to figure out where she at. And I ain't ready for no. I got shotgun rifles and stuff like that, but kind of like keep them away from me and stuff. Because one of them kind of scared me. My son, he was young, like the early 20s. And I had this single gauge shotgun. No, it's a double. I had 2 experiences. A double barrel. The double barrel was empty. Let's talk about the double barrel. I had a double barrel and shotgun. My son ran in the house. Mama, it's a man. I had a big school bus that I was trying to gut out and make into a recreational getaway vehicle. And he said, "It's a man in there." And he won't leave. So I got my double barrel. It wasn't loaded. And I said, well, okay, then I tell you what, I will scare him off. Mr. Willie ran out there too. And I had the double barrel in my hand. Mr. Willie was ahead of me. And I said, let me see, how can I make this click to let him know I mean business? Even though there wasn't no barrels in there. And I kept pulling the trigger. And I guess the safety was on, and it wouldn't do anything. So I jammed something, and then it went click right behind Mr. Willie's head. I would have blown, man, if that thing had been loaded, I would have blown that man's head off. I had a very frightening experience with that. My son was young, and we had a single barrel. I still got him, but I try to keep him away from me because those things freak me out. And I went in my closet, and then it just fell in my, like this, bloop, right in my lap as I walked in the closet. And it went click, and no bullets in it. That's why I ain't trying to load the motherfuckers up. Know what you doing. Go to the gun range, let them teach you gun safety. If you got children around, please learn gun safety. Get you a gun cabinet with a lock. Keep them locked up. Because some things got a head of their own if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, thank y'all for buying, and I love to hear that sound right there like that, huh? That's my website going off right there. Folks been buying readings. Thank y'all so much for coming out to support me because the funds go to this nonprofit organization, the Temple of the Crossroads. I also, once again, I say my nonprofit, the duty is to show people how to be self-sufficient and prepare themselves for an emergency. It may be a 2 or 3 day emergency. You may be snowed in, iced in, what have you. We're going to learn how in those days, 2 or 3 days, what to do to keep yourself up if the power goes off and your freezer or something like that starts thawing and your food goes bad, things like that. Hopefully, I haven't done it myself. You get generators and stuff. Get yourself some generators, whether they be gas, diesel, propane. I don't know, solar. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that right there for the temple, for my personal house, to keep food. Like to me, if you got a generator and it got 2 plugs in it, well, you may use one. And also that radio that I was telling you about winds up, it powers up your cell phone. But you can power up your cell phone if you got 2 plug outlets on your generator. And your freezer is very important. If you got freezer or your refrigerator, you want to keep your food, because food is high, keep it cool. But if this thing extends out for whatever extenuating circumstances, then we go into depth with foods that are prepared in jars to continue to feed your family. If this thing goes on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you can't get out, you got that food. We already talked about storing foods for disasters like flooding. Remember, we talked about that. And we talked about all of it, now didn't we? And we're going to continue to talk about these things extensively, how to protect yourself from radioactive fallout. This must be discussed, okay? Now, like I say, may not nothing ever happen, but get your children in a habit of preparing for this, because like I told y'all, it can happen to your kids, okay? Hey, Signet said, what are those bells ringing? These are notifications from people. People are texting. People are sending me, videos, things like that. It's just notifications. That's all. Somebody might want, some people are actually watching the video and like they'll alert me, like if something is going on, like, hey, the booger man is standing behind you, you need to turn around, or if there's no audio and they can't hear or stuff like that, so people, they tend to send messages, okay? Hey, Nicole. Nicole was in our last video, Nicole Mastella. Yeah, like I said, please watch that video where I went to see um, um, the Black Panthers Wakanda Forever. And so y'all can see my take on it. I know for sure it's a ritual. Okay, segments it that they were behind on technology. No problem. If you want to know something, just ask. Oh, yes. Okay. So Sean says, women, we need to have reusable, washable sanitary napkins available. Yeah. And so I'm going to be a little bit graphic. So they have now, when a lot of women who are getting to be more health conscious and want to go natural because they're finding out in the sanitary pads, and that's some shit in there that ain't good, that may be causing fibroids and stuff. A guy opened up one and he was able to power up a light bulb. But now I've heard that, you can run a light bulb on just purity water. I'm not sure how it goes. Maybe I'll try it. They say you could run you a glass of water and then put a light bulb in there and it'll work, you know. And so if that works, because y'all know I'm gonna try it, I'll do it on here, and that could be another emergency way to, you know, have some electricity in your house, with some lights in your house just in case the lights go out. But because of this, this weird mesh that's in these pads, women are using menstrual cups. Excuse me, men, and women are using these, you know, these pads that are made out of cloth with cushions in them. You can get them in black, so you can still wash them, and you won't be able to see that they're stained. But if push goes to shove, you could do what great grandma and them used to do. You would take your clothes, like this gets to the point it's raggedy, no longer is it appealing. You would take these and cut them and make sanitary napkins out of them. They're not napkins anymore, but you would make menstrual cloths out of them, roll them up, use them, and keep them washed, dry them, roll them up, use them. You plug yourself up with a rag. Gloop. This is emergency stuff. Like last gut efforts so you won't be menstruating all over the place. I believe that hospitals will turn into graveyards as these dark days show up. So we're going to need people who are lifesavers, people, nurses, and midwives. They're going to be coming back. Okay. Okay. I'm out. Piachi. Pikachi. Bye bye, y'all.